Welcome to the Coach and Bro Show. And no, I am not the coach. I am the bro. I am Vince Russo. But I got to tell you, man, the coach's presence is felt because I was victim of the old coach swerve. Coach thought it would be funny to swerve the man who invented the swerve, and that would be me. Because I was told this morning that I was going to have a lovely, a beautiful, a vivacious co-host for this show. That's what I was told. That's what the coach told me. So I got all excited. I even used my Mando. I used my Mando wipes. I used my Mando deodorant. I used my Mando underarm stick. I was ready to go. I had to be fresh, smelling good like a daisy. If I was going to have an attractive co-host, I was going to meet for the first time. I was very excited. So I come here this morning and I get this guy. Where is my attractive? Now listen, everybody knows. I have known the great Tommy Carlucci for 26 years, the all-star pitcher of the Titan Sports softball team. Everybody knows I love Tommy. I put Tommy over like no other. But Tommy, where's my beautiful, vivacious, glowing co-host?
You're looking at him right here.
Man, Coach is going to hear this.
Oh, yeah, that's a big time swerve. You're telling me you're gonna see some hot, vivacious person, and then you see my face?
Yeah,
Whew,
exactly.
that's a problem, dude. I would definitely bring it up to him the next time you guys get together. And by
Yes.
the way, I watched that Open. How old is that Open? Because that was coached like 25 pounds ago.
He does that. He does that all the time. He uses his best footage. We don't see the real coach. But
No.
anyway, I do want to say, because I said at the top of the show, man, sponsor of this show is Mando. I got to tell you what I love about Mando. This is whole body deodorant. And right there, Tommy, I love this. Look at this. For pits, packages, and feet. I love that. They're telling you, bro. They even say, I got this copy, Tommy. They say right in the copy, it's for the grundle. They're telling you flat out, spray this on the nut sack, the ball area.
Yeah,
And I got to tell you guys, there is a starter pack if you want to try Mando, which really is a great product. There's a starter pack for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, and also free shipping. And as a special order for our listeners, new customers get $5 off the starter pack with our exclusive code EXPLODES. That is the code. That equates over 40% off your starter pack. Use the code EXPLODES at shopmando.com, shopmando.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Tommy,
yep.
a lot went on this past weekend, Monday Night Raw. I got to ask you a question, Tommy, because I've been asking myself this. Did the right guy win the Royal Rumble in Jey Uso? Tommy, what is your experienced opinion?
I've been talking about this, and I've been thinking about this, and I always wondered, did Jay have the star power to sell out? And listen, we're in Vegas. We're not in Philadelphia. We're not in Indianapolis. We're in the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas. And you're going to tell me Jey Uso main event against Gunther is going to sell out the first or second night? I'm sorry, I don't see it. I like Jey Uso a lot. I think he's a great. I know him. I worked with him for years. You couldn't meet a nicer guy who works his ass off and just does everything the right way. But I don't think he's on the level of Cody, Roman, Punk. I'm sorry. I just don't see it at all. And this is what bothers me about this. I didn't think he was going to win at all. I I thought Roman was gonna win. That was my deal. He got the Ulafala. I thought my final four, I had Logan Paul in there with Cena, Punk, and Roman. I had Cena getting dumped by Logan, and that could have been a match at WrestleMania. Somehow Roman wins. He goes to WrestleMania with Cody. And my other thought process to get Punk in the main event, use the wise man's favor. Now we got a triple threat. But going this whole curve of Jey Uso, I'm not sure if it's working. And then Monday night proved it. He came into the ring, and now you're giving the ball. And you notice you've been a writer, you promoted guys for years, you put over Austin. They took the ball and ran with it. It's his time to take the ball and run with it. And his promo didn't cut it for me. That all getting emotional stuff, that does nothing for me at all. I know he's been there 15 years moving forward. Everybody works hard, right? You work hard. We all worked hard. But come on, you got to bring it to another level. And I'm not sure if he can do that.
Well, some great points, Tommy. And listen, I just want to let everybody know in the chat. Thank all you guys for coming in, guys. If you want to be a part of this discussion, you could do it through super stickers and donations. We will put you right on the screen with questions, comments, but you got to do it through a super sticker or a donation. Why? Because me and Tommy are working here. That's why. This is work. Now, Tommy, I'm going to agree and I'm going to disagree. Here's the disagreement part, Tommy. They have made it crystal clear. They are catering to the marks. They are catering to the audience they already have. They don't care about the casual fans. They've given up on the casual fans simply because it's too hard to get new fans. It's too hard, it's too difficult, and quite frankly, they don't know how to do it. So what are we going to do? We're going to cater to the fans we already have, and those fans will be very, very, very happy if Jey Uso goes over. And that's fine, man. If that's your business philosophy and that's the road you want to go down, that's fine. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's pathetic because I know when I wrote a television show, I wanted the world to watch. I already knew we had the marks. They weren't going anywhere. They were watching the show regardless of what was on it. The key was, how do we get the rest of the world? That was the key. But as far as selling out, Tommy, listen, you and I have been there, and it started with a legend by the name of Bob Collins. And Tommy, thank God they are a marketing, promotion, advertising, branding machine. Because, Tommy, if you and I headlined WrestleMania, they would sell WrestleMania out. So I don't think they have to worry about that. But Tommy, I think you are dead on about, okay, man, you're in the spot now. Can you carry it? Because Tommy, I think we saw on Monday night, Yeet is going to carry you so far. Tommy, you love sports like I do, especially, baseball's right around the corner. Tommy, pitches, catches, 1 week from today.
Yep.
Tommy, you got to have all 5 tools in today's game. And you could be a great worker if you can't deliver on that microphone. And Tommy, Yeet's going to take this guy so far.
I'm getting a little tired of the Yeet too, especially watching. Does Michael Cole have any rhythm in his body at all?
Tommy, can we talk about this for a second?
And I know Michael really well, but
yeah, Tommy, I know Michael well, and I kind of feel bad about saying this because I was there when Michael started. But Tommy, I find myself saying this a lot. To me, Tommy, this is me talking, so you can disagree. Bro, this dude is getting so obnoxious. And let me tell you this, he is so happy Vince McMahon is no longer in his ear. But let me tell you what Michael Cole is proving every single week. Brother, you're proving you needed Vince McMahon in your ear every single week because I got to tell you, Michael, I love you. This isn't personal, but bro, you are starting to become so freaking obnoxious. I mean, Tommy, he's crowd surfing.
Yeah.
Like serious, bro. You're an announcer. You're a play-by-play guy. You're crowd surf. I mean, Bob Uecker didn't even crowd surf, Tommy.
No, not at all. And Cole did it. I'm not sure if that was a swerve from Cody or what, but you're right. Michael's really come out of his shell. And please, can you listen to the song and kind of move your hands the same time? If you're gonna yeet, please do it right because you look like a fool when you're off and everybody's on with it. You're absolutely right. And going back to Jay, I mean, Yeaton's going to get old, right? And now you got to move on to something else. That's what happens in this business, right? And I just feel that Jay needs to bring that up to another level. What he does it in the next couple of weeks, and Lord knows, WrestleMania is late this year, right? So if it's him and Gunther, I want to see what kind of storyline is going to keep me riveted watching the show every week, making me say, I can't wait to see Gunther and Jey Uso at WrestleMania. Because let's face it, Gunther is Gunther. You're not going to get much out of him. So it's very interesting to see how they're going to handle this storyline moving forward.
And yeah, Tommy, I'm with you too. Like, man, I have a real hard time of wrestlers crying in the ring. And I'll tell you why, Tommy. Tommy, I look at this as a casual fan. I am a casual fan. I do not love wrestling. I loved it when I was in it. I don't love the wrestling business today. I don't love the product. This is a paying job. I take the job seriously, but I am no way, shape, or form a wrestling mark. And Tommy, as a casual fan, you and I sit here every single week and we watch matches with no psychology. We watch everybody kick out of everything. We see just move after move after move. Nobody sells. It's all blatantly fake. But now, Tommy, because Jey Uso is crying, oh, so this part is real now. I'm supposed to think this is real and this guy is all emotional, but everything else is not real and not both. Tommy, somebody slapped me right across the face the other day because listen, bro, we know it's a work. Jey Uso, with all due respect, and Tommy, I've never met Jey, but I could tell he's a great guy. He's a
Yes,
hell
he
of a
is.
guy. And I'm not questioning that. But Jey, like casual fans watching at home, brother, no matter how emotional this is to you, bro, you didn't win anything.
Mhm.
You didn't beat anybody. Like, we know that as we're watching at home. Tommy, somebody said this to me the other day. Vince, can you imagine Bruno Sammartino crying after a match? Tommy, like think about
No,
what wrestling used to
to
be
be. Yep.
to where it is today. Wrestling was men's men. You think Roddy Piper would have ever cried in a ring? We don't want to see that, Tommy. We talk about, there's no more grit. There's no more sweat. There's no more guys that look like wrestlers. Now we're taking it to the extreme of you're going to break up because I won a title that I didn't even win because I dreamed about it when I was a kid. Tommy, come on, man.
Yeah, I totally. I mean, you think Gorilla Monsoon ever cried?
Oh God.
And I knew Gorilla well, great
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
May he rest in peace. Bruno was a rock. I used to go to those monthly shows at the Garden, me and my buddies in the '70s and watch Bruno. We couldn't wait to him and boy, I gotta tell you, we couldn't wait to see him and Waldo von Erich, the German, go
Oh
at it. Oh
yeah.
my those were
Yes.
battles. George
Yes.
the Animal Steel, I was
Yes.
afraid of him, and I was a teenager. That's how real it looked to me with George. You think George the Animal Steel would ever cry? You got real guys going at it, and you're right. Today, everything's a high spot. Everything's a false finish, right? That's all you see in matches. Nobody puts anybody. There's no ring psychology at all. and it just drives me crazy. Who could outdo who in a high spot? I'm gonna jump here. I'm gonna go off the table. I'm gonna do this. And it means nothing unless you have a storyline in the match and a storyline with that guy right there. And that's why to me, Jay really needs to go up 3 or 4 notches in order for me to take interest and say, I can't wait to see Gunther and Jay go at it at WrestleMania.
Yeah. And, and a couple other things, Tommy. Like, I just want to say this because I don't want to be a hard ass or a dick or anything like that. And I want people to understand, man, I don't want any of my heat to go to freaking Tommy. Please don't take out on Tommy what I'm about to say. But, Jay talked about, after the match, going in the back and getting Rikishi on the phone. Everybody's putting Jay over because they like him and they love him, and it's a great win. Tommy, you've been there. There are hugs all around. To me, Tommy, that's the moment where the emotions come out. You got your dad on the phone. You got your brother. You got your colleagues. By the time you get to that stage the following night, now it's business. Okay, we had that moment. Now it's business. And Tommy, here's what makes things twice as worse. So you got Jay breaking up, teary-eyed. He can't get words out. Then you got the heel come out in Gunther. Now, Tommy, don't you think the heel should say, wait a minute, these are the fearsome Samoans?
Yep.
This is the Samoan bloodline I'm supposed to fear? You're standing here crying like a woman? They miss all that, Tommy. Yep. They absolutely miss all that. So it's a very, very flat promo that goes absolutely nowhere.
Yeah. Instead, Gunther said, I'm coming at you like a dog, instead of saying you're crying like a little girl and you're gonna face me at WrestleMania. Right. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
A real heel would have ripped Piper back in the day, would have ripped him to shreds about crying in the ring. You're crying. You just won Royal Rumble. You should be in here saying, you know what? I don't know who I'm going to wrestle yet, whether it's Gunther, Cody. I'm going to win the match, blah, blah, blah. Gunther comes out. You go nose to nose and you see what's going to happen there. But no, none of that happened. Instead, I had Gunther saying, well, if you decide to take me, I'm going to come at you like a dog. Really?
Yeah.
What does that do for me? That does nothing for me.
And Tommy, I got to tell you, man, when I was writing, when I would be writing with Vince and Ed, Tommy, there was one rule of thumb. You never ended an in-ring without physicality. Mm-hmm. An in-ring always ended in physicality. Now we got these mic drops and these in-rings, they're so flat when they're over.
Yep.
But anyway, hey, producer man, I saw a couple super stickers donations. You want to throw them up now? Here we go. Awesome sauce. Thank you very much, my friend. Vince, I watched the match with Eugene and Grado, and Eugene goes through a pile of Skittles, and there's a taste the rainbow chant. I laughed for 10 minutes. Awesome sauce, I told you. Tommy, I was overseas at the UK, and Grado and Eugene had a match where in the corner of each ring on a pole was like a box. You didn't know what was in the box. And one of the box had like Skittles, the other box, they had all ridiculous things. One of the greatest, most entertaining matches I ever saw.
That's great. Man, Eugene. Is it Eugene back in the day, Eugene? I don't know who Grado was. Was he?
Grado is over at TNA. Grado is from Scotland, Tommy.
Okay.
You can't understand a conversation with him, Tommy. You can't understand a word this guy's saying, Grado.
Yeah.
Was there another one? I think I saw another one. Here we go. Hogan and Backlund cried after they lost the title. Well, perhaps. But all right, Tommy, let's move on to some MJF comments. And I want to see how you feel about these. So we had, refresh my memory. Could we bring up these comments, producer man? We had Jimmy Korderas. We both know and love, Tommy. Jimmy Korderas, great dude. Yep. Does a great podcast now. longtime referee. My God, I cannot read that because it's so small. Can you read that, Tommy?
I can't see that at all.
Okay, well, oh God. Hold on, producer man. I'm gonna have to pull it up on my end so I can't wait. Hold on, did he do something there? No, let me pull it up on my end, producer man, because I want to be able to read this so people get the entire crux of this Twitter exchange between Jimmy Korderas and MJF. Then I'm going to get into a discussion with Tommy over here. I just got to pull this up. Hold on, Tommy. We are live, ladies and gentlemen,
Yep.
live. I'm sweating now. I need my Mando. Hold on for a second. All right, here we go, Tommy. I got it. Okay. Jimmy Korderas put out a tweet, and this is what it said. Great job, MJF, of reminding your audience about the man who is on top in the other company. So evidently on AEW, MJF talked about Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
MJF comes back with this. His brother, my mentor, a guy who helped shape me early on in my career. Your old boss, he's talking about Vince, brainwashed you into believing we need to treat the fans like morons and pretend other wrestling companies don't exist. You dumb, ignorant, ball, grifting, F-U-C-K.
Wow.
Little harsh there. Little harsh
Little
there.
stiff.
Yeah,
Little
Tommy.
stiff.
Tommy, what do you think about this whole situation?
I'm wondering what happened to MJF. This is a young kid who has a lot of talent. And I'm just wondering what happened to him. And then you're doing stuff like this. Like, what happened to his character? They have him like feuding now and going into a Jeff Jarrett, and then Rhodes came in last night. I don't know what happened to this guy who was sharp, young, could cut a promo. It just makes me think that I don't care about him anymore. And then this comes out like this, and that's just he's digging big time, man. If he's watching what Jimmy Corderas is saying, kudos to Jimmy Korderas, man, because a guy like The Rock or anybody else will never even answer stuff like this. So I don't know where MJF is coming from. I think he's a little lost in the company right now. I don't think he has any direction at all. I'm not sure if Tony Khan is running the boat with him or what, or if this is MJF just going into business for himself, but it's just ridiculous, dude. Work on your character, work on what you do in the ring, work on your whole persona because right now it's nowhere in my eyes.
Yeah. Guys, before I get to Tommy again, I want to remind you, you can be part of this conversation. We'll bring you right up on the screen. Do it through a super sticker or a donation. That's how you support us. You support this show, and we greatly appreciate it. A couple things. Yeah, I mean, Jimmy's the nicest guy in the world. And Jimmy, seriously, what Tommy said, I hope you're not taking this to heart because the fact that he's
Right.
acknowledging you puts you over huge.
Yep.
Seriously. So he really, really did you a favor. Number two, I don't know MJF. I know he is a fellow Long Islander. I've always been a fan of MJF. So I am going to, he got a little stiff at the end. I mean, dropping an F-bomb. I'm going to hope, Tommy, that MJF is in character and he's doing this in character. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he is. Now, Tommy, you want to know what happened with MJF's character? I'll tell you what happened with MJF's character. Guys like Triple H, guys like, Tony Khan, Tommy, they're not writers. They're not right. Tommy, everybody thinks they can write a television show. Everybody thinks there's nothing to writing a television show, formatting a television show, writing cliffhangers, writing dialogue. Anybody can do it. Anybody. That's like, Tommy, that's like you and me saying, yeah, bro, we could be champions of the world. Tommy, you and I, we can go on the road 300 times a year and have 20 and 30-minute matches. That's like me and you saying that. You and I know that's ridiculous. But yet the Triple H's and the Tony Khans with no writing background whatsoever think they can write a wrestling show. So what do we get, bro? Yeah, you can write a wrestling show for about a month. Then
Mm.
you run out of ideas. Then you don't know what to do. And all of a sudden, it turns into the same old, same old. Now, Tommy, I want to tell you this because MJF is wrong about one thing. MJF is wrong about Vince McMahon saying that you never acknowledge the other company. Maybe MJF was a little too young to remember, Tommy, but I know you and I were there. Did we not drive a tank up to the other company's door? Did we not skyride in the air? WCW sucks. Tommy, here's the rule of thumb that I always went by when I was writing. Here's the rule of thumb. Tommy, when you're number one, the competition doesn't exist.
That's right.
That's when Vince would never mention the competition. When you're number one and they're the pimple on your ass, you are not going to put them over. However, when you're number two, Tommy, now you're throwing the kitchen sink at them because you're going to hope they engage you. Because once they engage you, just like MJF did with Jimmy, once they engage you, now they're going to start mentioning you, and now they're going to start putting you over, and now you're in their head. So basically, there's a time to do it, Tommy. There's a time not to do it.
Uh, I totally agree with you on this, and it gets people talking, right? I mean, if you're number 2 and then, "Oh, I'm gonna talk about Cody, I'm gonna talk about" oh, now it may be a little interesting to somebody say, "Oh, what did MJF say about Cody? Is Cody gonna come back at MJF?" So that's what you open it up to. I mean, that's what MJF opens it up to when you bring Cody's name and you bring up, Dustin's father in a promo. Now it opens up to stuff that's not even happening around anywhere. And then you bring up the champ in your promo. So that makes everybody think, boy, is Cody going to come back at him? Cody didn't say 2 words, did he? Did he say anything on social media at all?
I
Nothing at
doubt
all,
it. Yeah, I
right?
doubt it.
But that's what kind of stuff you fish for when you are number 2. When
Yep.
you are number 2, that's what you fish for. So people start getting interesting. Oh, what's MJF going to say next week? Is he going to bring up The Rock? Is he going to bring up the chairman of the company back in the day? You never know. And that's how you start people thinking on social media, man, what else is MJF going to say? It's just to get himself over a little more because right now he's stuck in the AEW right now, somewhere in that middle flux with him, Moxley, and the rest of that crew. I have no idea where he is. That's the problem.